Welcome to the Coastal Kitchen. I'm Karen Mashures, and today we are making a Southern specialty. We are having biscuits and sausage gravy, a hash brown casserole that you will die for, a Southern seasonal fruit salad, and we're going to get started right now. This is one of my grandson's favorite meals, and you can have it breakfast or dinner. Okay, let's start with the hash brown casserole. First thing we're going to do is put this butter in the microwave, and I'm just going to melt it real quick because I want that ready for our casserole. Okay, if you've ever had a casserole hash browns out, some of them are really super good and some of them aren't. I love a certain one, and I've tried to master this. So first we're going to start with some onion. And all I'm going to do is just chop it up nice and fine. You can do it any way you want to. That's the best thing about a casserole. Make it any way you want. We're going to use about a half a cup of the chopped onions. And because I like onions so much, I usually use just a little bit more. So make it the way you like it. Okay, onions all chopped. Let's get it in my big bowl here. This is really a very easy recipe because you just throw everything in one bowl, which is really nice. Okay, onions are in. Now I'm gonna put a full can of cream of chicken soup right on top of the onions. Alrighty, let's give that a little stir. And now, cheddar cheese. And I like to use sharp cheddar, and we're going to do about 2 cups. Just get it all shredded. All right, looks like I've got about 2 cups here. And that goes straight in. And I'm gonna reserve about a half a cup to put on top when it's almost done. So give this a nice stir and get it all incorporated. Okay, now I'm gonna get my butter. And I'm gonna put that right there. I put about a teaspoon of salt and about a half a teaspoon of pepper. Get that all mixed in. And I've got to go to the fridge and get my hash browns. And I keep the hash browns frozen until I'm ready to put them into the mixture. So I'll be right back. All right, 2 pounds of potatoes. And what I did is I'll take them out of the bag. But before I take them out of the bag, I sort of drop the bag a few times onto the surface of my counter. That way there aren't any clumps of potatoes that have frozen together. Okay, now I've got to get my big spoon. And I might have to get a little bit bigger bowl because this is a lot of potatoes. Let me grab a big bowl. And what I'm gonna do is just transfer everything in here because I want an easy mix. Get all that cheese. Okay. Now, I've got it just about mixed up, and I'm gonna pour my melted butter right over the top. Okay. Now we're gonna just get it all mixed up, and it's gonna go into a 9 by 13 glass pan, and I'm going to cook it at 350 in the oven for about 35 minutes. All right, all mixed up. Let's move this back a little bit. Let me grab my pan. Now you can use a spray to spray your pan, or you can take a little bit of solid shortening and lightly grease it, but make sure you do that. And now we're just gonna start putting the potatoes and the cheese in the pan. Okay, let's get this last little bit in here. Just a touch more. And this is ready to go in the oven. I just sort of push it down just a little bit and it's ready to go. Rinse these hands off real fast. 350 oven for about 35 to 45 minutes, depending on your oven. And then we're gonna top it with our extra cheese. All right, this is gonna go in. We're gonna have a quick word from one of our sponsors, and we'll be back to make our fruit salad.
Our mom plus Charlotte Electric plus Maytag equals one legendary apple pie. It begins with the finest ingredients kept Maytag fresh. Then, Maytag's precise baking means the flakiest, tastiest crust ever. Finally, her ultra-quiet Maytag dishwasher makes cleanup ultra easy. Mom, apple pie, and Maytag. Dependably yours at Charlotte Electric Stores.
Getting an alert the kids made it home safely or need to let guests in when you're not there. That's ATMC Security. And then there's the time when having professionally monitored smart home security really matters. ATMC Security offers remote access, real-time alerts, video monitoring, and interactive security, keeping you connected to your home from wherever you are. Start with 24/7 emergency monitoring for burglary, smoke, fire, and carbon monoxide for as low as $17.95 per month. ATMC Security. Safeguard your home.
It's time to make our fruit salad. This is so simple, and the dressing is really lovely. You'll like this one. Half an orange, need about 1/4 of a cup of fresh squeezed orange juice. And just to make sure I've got it right, we're gonna pour it right in. And that is just about perfect. I've got one little seed. Let's get that out. And I'm gonna give it one more squeeze. Okay, that's what we need there. Now we're gonna take the zest of 1 lemon, and this is gonna brighten up the whole dish. Okay, that looks good right there. Now, 1/4 of a cup of honey. And I am gonna measure . Okay. Boy, I love the smell of honey. All right, now we're gonna put this over here, and I'm gonna take a whisk and just whisk this up until the honey gets incorporated into the orange juice. All right. Now, I've got raspberries and blueberries, fresh from the farm, and they've been washed. And I'm gonna put in some grapes, and I use seedless. I'm gonna take some kiwi. I've got some cut up, but in case you've never cut up a kiwi, all you have to do is take a peeler, a vegetable peeler, and peel it. All right, got it peeled. I'm gonna give it a quick rinse. Now, just cut off the end, and I cut them in rounds. You can cut them in half after that if you'd like, but we're just gonna cut up 3 all together. And these are gonna go straight in. Now with the kiwi, you wanna make sure that if you're serving this salad at any other time of day other than about half an hour before you're ready to eat, don't use kiwi and add it until you're about 30 minutes away, because if you do, it adds just a little bit more water than you'd want. Okay, strawberries. Again, fresh from the farm and washed. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut them in 4ths, and I like to stand them up so my knife works real good. And we're gonna throw those right on top. And our dressing, just drizzle it all over the top here. Make sure you get that lemon zest. Okay, let's put that right there. And all I'm gonna do is take my hands and toss it. And then it's gonna go straight into the fridge, and we'll be eating it in about 30 minutes. So I'm gonna put this in the fridge, and I'll see you back after you hear another short message from our sponsor.
At ATMC, it's all about you. So when you build your own bundle at atmc.com, you get exactly the services you want, like blazing fast internet with speeds up to 1 gigabit per second, more than 200 channels of digital cable, unlimited nationwide calling, plus the safest home on the block. At ATMC, you get faster speeds, more choices, and bigger savings, because it's all about you. Build your bundle today with ATMC.
Do you have Wi-Fi dead zones in your home? If you have a fast internet package, your wireless router is most likely the bottleneck because it can't handle all the new devices in your home. We now have a solution to enhance your internet experience. ATMC Premium Wi-Fi improves performance and coverage issues in any size home. For only $7.95 a month, you'll get Wi-Fi service plus management and maintenance you can rely on. So transform your Wi-Fi dead zones into total home Wi-Fi coverage with ATMC Premium Wi-Fi. This is ATMC TV, your community channel.
Hi, it's time for sausage and gravy. So I have sausage, and you can use bulk sausage, and this is where you can make it the way that you like it. I like to use the hot sausage because I think it gives a little more flavorful gravy. So let's put this in. I've turned my pan on, and I am going to just drop it in and break it up. I don't want it to burn. So I'm using a medium heat. And we're gonna let that cook down until it's nice and crumbly. Okay, looks like all the pink is out of the sausage, and that's what we want. Now, it's time to season and start our gravy. So I'm gonna take about a teaspoon of salt and just sprinkle it around. I'm gonna use regular pepper on this, and I'm gonna use about the same amount because I like that little bit of peppery flavor really permeating through. And we're gonna stir that in. And you'll notice there's not a whole lot of grease from this sausage. Okay, pepper and salt is all mixed in, and I'm gonna use 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. Just get it in there. And we're gonna coat the meat with that flour. And we're gonna burn off a little bit of that flour flavor. So let's get that all covered. And I'm gonna let it cook for about a minute. Now I'm keeping the flour from burning on the bottom. It's all incorporated, and I'm gonna start adding my milk. And I've got 3 cups of milk that I'm gonna put in, and I've reserved another 1/3, because if my gravy gets too thick, I wanna thin it out just a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna put about 1/3 of my gravy in, stir it around. And this thickens up rather quickly. So once you get all of your liquid in, you've just about got it made. Last little bit here. And I'm gonna keep just about 1/3 of a cup. And we're gonna let this cook for about 8 minutes. Just stir it constantly because you don't want it to burn. And you'll see how quickly it turns into that wonderful creamy gravy. Okay, you can see how this is thickening up so beautifully. It is cooking to perfection. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean up just a little bit. We're gonna come back and make the biscuits to go with this.
This is what security video used to look like, and this is HD video monitoring from ATMC Security. Now it's easier than ever to keep tabs on the kids, see when deliveries arrive, and make sure your home is secure. Check in from any device, anywhere. ATMC Security offers remote access, real-time alerts, video monitoring and recording, and more. Combine smart home solutions with 24/7 emergency monitoring for one great low price. ATMC Security. Safeguard your home.
How Mom plus Charlotte Electric plus Maytag equals one legendary apple pie. It begins with the finest ingredients kept Maytag fresh. Then, Maytag's precise baking means the flakiest, tastiest crust ever. Finally, her ultra-quiet Maytag dishwasher makes cleanup ultra easy. Mom, apple pie and Maytag. Dependably yours at Charlotte Electric stores.
All right, look at how nice and thick this is. It is absolutely beautiful. We're gonna keep it on simmer, very, very low, until I get my biscuits made. But before we do that, I have got to look at my casserole and put my cheese on the top. So let's take out this hash brown casserole. Okay, I'm gonna sit it right there. We're gonna put the rest of the cheese, just sprinkle it on top. Ooh, this smells so good. You'll love this. I think I've got some cameramen that are a little bit drooling right now because they love cheese. So let's put a little bit of cheese on this thing and get it right back in the oven, get it melted and browned off. Take about another 10 minutes at the most. Okay. Gravy's ready, and we're gonna have a quick word from our sponsor, and we will be right back to make the biscuits that go with this gravy.
At ATMC, it's all about you. So when you build your own bundle, you get exactly the services you want, like blazing fast internet with speeds up to 1 gigabit per second. Connect all your devices. And when you add premium Wi-Fi, you get whole home coverage here, here, and here. Add digital cable, unlimited home phone, plus security with smart home solutions, and save even more. Because it's all about you. Build your bundle with ATMC.
Why did I choose ATMC Security? Peace of mind. With video monitoring from ATMC Security, I can see what's happening at my home anytime, right on my phone. I can see who's pulling in the driveway and check on our puppy Sam. Most importantly, I get a video alert when my kids get home from school, so I know they're safe.
Get 24/7 protection, home automation, and video monitoring as low as $36.95 per month.
Peace of mind. That's why I switched to ATMC Security.
Choose ATMC Security for peace of mind you can afford.
Stay connected with ATMC TV. Like us on Facebook today.
Well, we're ready to make biscuits. Now, I'm gonna tell you a little story. The first time I ever made biscuits was probably 30-something years ago, and I was surprising my husband, and he called them silver dollar biscuits. He said they were the size of silver dollars and just as flat. And so I didn't have a very good career with biscuits. I've given you a regular traditional Southern biscuit flour recipe, but I'm gonna tell you, for me, I like the quick way, and I have found Southern biscuit flour. It is complete, it's got everything in it. It's one of the things that I will tell you about with a brand name. And I've got 3 cups in my bowl. This makes it real easy. I'm just gonna make a little bit of a well. This has stuff in it that makes the biscuits come out perfect every time. Okay, 1 1/4 cup of buttermilk. Just pour it in. Don't be afraid to get it all in. And I'm just going to get the flour a little bit wet. That's the one thing with biscuits you don't want to do. You don't want to get them overworked. Okay, now I have rubber bands. Why do I have rubber bands? Because if you're in the kitchen making biscuits and you've got sleeves that might get into it, just put a rubber band around your sleeve, pull it up to your elbow, and then you can get your hands in, because that's what we're gonna do next. I'm gonna take my rolling pin and my mix. I'm gonna put a little bit of flour on my board because I'm gonna roll my biscuit out. This dough is not gonna be too thick, but it's gonna be thick enough to make a cat head biscuit. That's what I'm gonna make today. Cat heads are the big ones. They're the big ones. All right, flour those hands, and I'm going to mix the rest of this dough with my hands. Want everything just to get wet. Okay, now I'm gonna try to get some of this off my fingers, and this is gonna go right on my flour. I'm gonna stick it right on top. This is where kids could have fun if you wanted to let them in the kitchen to make biscuits, because it's a messy, fun experience. All right, what I want to do is just get a little flour from the board, and I'm not gonna need very much at all. I'm just gonna turn it over a couple of times and get as much off my fingers as I can. All right, I've got as much off my fingers as I can get off, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna flatten it out a little bit, and I am going to take a third of the dough and bring it over, and then I'm gonna flip the other third over, because I think this helps make flakier biscuits. Put a little bit more there, just a touch. And now I'm gonna roll them out. And I'm gonna roll them out to about 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little bit thicker, but not a whole lot. I'm only making 8 biscuits. I want to make the bigger biscuit, and this is the fun part. Getting it even. Okay, I have a great big round cutter, and I'm gonna start cutting. Okay, let's get these onto the pan. Just a plain sheet pan. I actually made 9 biscuits, and you can tell I've put them in the center of the pan, and I have let them touch just a little bit because that keeps that nice moisture in. All right, wash my hands real fast. They're gonna go in a 450-degree oven, and it's gonna take about 10 minutes, but I'm gonna watch them starting about 8 to make sure they don't overcook. Okay, let's grab this, get them in, and I'll get myself cleaned up, and we'll have some biscuits and gravy.
How Mom plus Charlotte Electric plus Maytag equals 1 legendary apple pie. It begins with the finest ingredients kept Maytag fresh. Then, Maytag's precise baking means the flakiest, tastiest crust ever. Finally, her ultra-quiet Maytag dishwasher makes cleanup ultra easy. Mom, apple pie, and Maytag. Dependably yours at Charlotte Electric stores.
This is ATMC TV, your community channel.
Well, welcome back. I have been out and cut some fresh chives out of my garden. I have gotten the biscuits out of the oven. Don't they look gorgeous? My sausage gravy is going. And the last thing that I'm gonna do is I am going to show you how I like to fix my biscuits and gravy, okay? I am frying an egg, and I'm using the same kind of ring that I used to cut my biscuits out. And I'm gonna put just a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt, and I'm gonna let that set for just a second. Let me grab a spatula, and I'll show you how I'm gonna do this. Okay, biscuit number 1. I'm gonna slice it in half. Ooh, so tender and flaky, look at that. put that right on the plate. I'm gonna take some of my sausage gravy and I'm going to put a little bit on each biscuit and a little bit on the side. That goes right there. I'm gonna take this off. Just put that right there. Now I've got a little bit of butter and a little bit of grease, and all I'm gonna do is just flip some over the top. I don't like my white runny, so we're just gonna top this off. Get it nice and toasty looking. Right on top of the biscuit. And we are just about ready to eat. I am gonna take some of my chives and I'm gonna snip some fresh chives over my biscuits and egg. And my fruit salad is gonna come out and we will be ready to eat. All right, let me get a fork. I've got to try this. Gotta try it real fast. Let's see, biscuits and gravy. This is something for you to try, believe me. I'm gonna eat the rest of that in just a second. But to top everything off, I'm gonna make a mimosa. Okay, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of grenadine in the bottom of my glass, just because it makes it look pretty. I'm going to take orange juice and fill it up about halfway, and then Prosecco. Just top it off with the bubbly stuff. I'm gonna go up to the top. We're gonna try this. We've got fruit salad, we've got homemade biscuits, I've got hash brown casserole, and speaking of which, I think I'm gonna take a quick little bite of that too. Let's just taste. Here's to good food, but here's also to good fans. I just want to say thank you for all of your comments, and everybody speaks to me when I'm out in the store. If you have any special requests about any kind of food, please let us know. You can contact us through Facebook, The Coastal Kitchen. You can also get the recipes there too. So here's to you. We'll see you next time at The Coastal Kitchen.
We had a safety patrol program before we wrote the grant, but we couldn't do anything extra for them. We didn't have any money. We didn't, it was just saying you were safety patrol. So once we got the grant money, we got to order shirts, and they got hats, they got their belts. Makes them feel a little more important. They're excited about leaving class. They're excited about putting their equipment, as they call, on. Going outside to take the flag up and down, and we recognize them when they're doing things. Before you'd say, why are you out of class? And now I can look at them and I know why they're out of class. The money helps them. They get a pizza party at the end. There's things that we just couldn't do for them without the money.
It gives them skills. They know how to deal with other kids. Next year they're going to be dealing with 8th graders they haven't seen in a couple years, and they're going to be twice the size they were when they were back here. And a bunch of kids from other schools that are mixed in, and to be able to talk to them, communicate with them without being shy or scared, or not knowing the unknown, basically, in middle school is going to help them a lot. Some of these young kindergarten kids, they might not know where class is or how to get there, or they might be having trouble carrying their breakfast to class, and the safety patrol will, if they see somebody struggling or lost, they'll make sure they get to where they're going. If they drop something, they'll help them pick it up or carry it to class.
To me, I think it makes them feel good that they're not alone, that there's actually someone watching them and just making sure that they're behaving.